Hi and welcome to this new timeless reading. Let's take a look at what frequency we can anchor today. And this is going to be in 3 cards. The first one is the frequency, the second one is what can get released from our energetics, and the third card is advice on how to go about it. So as usual, this is a timeless reading. You'll come across this information when you're ready to activate. So in first card, what is the frequency? And we have the Two of Swords. And what I'm hearing with this is a clear mindset, knowing exactly where you stand. And this could be for relationships and circumstances, like at work. And it's pretty much seeing things for what they really are now and having a inner position. So it's pretty much a separation. Clearly it's the Two of Swords. But it's like in your mind, if you've been on the fence about certain people, certain behaviors, the way you were treated in different circumstances, and you were not sure and kind of like in between thinking a certain way about certain people or certain situations, it's kind of like you're finally slicing through it and knowing exactly where you stand. And this requires a lot more inner confidence, and it's pretty much trusting yourself for what you actually really feel about the situation, and have some discernment and a little bit of maturity here, in the sense that if you're still actively reacting to something, take a moment to calm down for sure. But like personally, I dealt with this in the past few days, where I kind of had a circumstance with someone coming up, and I was like, I kind of feel this way about the person, like deep down, and sometimes it's not positive and it's not fun to look at it. And what happened when I gave myself inner validation about it, a bunch of other little memories and tidbits from the past with this person and past interactions all popped up and supported what I kind of knew all along but was very uncomfortable to accept. And now taking position within myself about it, and just, I'm not going to shame, blame, or judge the person like outwardly. But I know exactly where I stand with it, and I trust myself more than I've ever had in those facing that situation and this context. And it doesn't mean I need to fully cut them off or anything like that, but I will not give space for doubt about my own perception about what's actually really going on, what's actually been going on the whole like time. And sometimes you kind of have to like there's been circumstances, especially in the past 5 years, where you kind of had to be flexible about your own perception to make it bearable, like for yourself, unfortunately. So if you've been wishy-washy about certain people and circumstances that have been unpleasant, like it kind of was necessary, I believe, at one point in time, but now we're actually setting our marks firmly within ourselves and giving ourselves the inner validation, which is the only validation you truly need, and approaching situations from that lens from now on. And it feels very solid and validating, and I actually felt like something lifted off my shoulders when I gave myself permission to validate what actually was been in front of me for a while, even if people around me were not agreeing with any of this. But who are they ultimately, interactions are very much a one-on-one thing ultimately. So that's why you need to trust your own perception concerning those types of dynamics. And now what can we release from our energetics? And what I'm seeing with the King of Pentacles is pushing your perception on others. like after validating yourself, you can't push. This is the bull behind the king. You can't push your perception on others. It's a very internal uh, process, and it's to set your own foundations. It's not to go about uh, the world and screaming things on your Facebook or whatever, and like trying to rally you know, against others. It's just when you know, and that's what it is, you know. And what's the advice on how to go about it? And it's the Queen of Cups, and it's to see it as a, like, thinking about seeing things for what they are is uncomfortable because like a lot of people live in denial for various reasons, and the main reason is they're scared to process what's really in front of them, and the second reason is they believe they don't have the tools to deal with what's in front of them. But ultimately, when you just let it kind of be what it is, it's a very self-loving process ultimately, and it's letting more love enter your life, enter your field, and act as protection ultimately, because uncomfortable interactions, relationships, circumstances will be read from miles away from then on, and it's gonna keep you in a much better space overall. So I hope this helps.